welcome to episode 271 of the Fogsi Presidential Initiative, the Gyan Pravah podcast series. I'm your host for today, Dr. Rohan Palshetkar, and today's conversation promises to be both inspiring and deeply insightful. We often talk about leadership in medicine, innovation in healthcare, art of balancing it in all, but today we're going to explore these ideas through a different perspective: strategy, people, and purpose. My guest for today is somebody who embodies global excellence and grounded wisdom. Chandni Palshetkar. She's the head of strategy for global hubs and services at Opella. With a remarkable journey across continents and industries, she has mastered the art of navigating complex organizations, driving strategic transformation, and creating impact at scale. But beyond the boardroom, she's someone who believes in empathy-driven leadership and the power of purposeful work. And I can always say, add this to my introduction of her, saying that she is my very dear sister, and it's always lovely to have a conversation with her in a more professional platform rather than anything else. But before I formally introduce you, I have to say a big thank you to our president, Dr. Sunita Tandulwadkar, whose brainchild this is. Ma'am always joins us for every podcast, but unfortunately today she's in flight and she can't really be here. But in that place, we have the very energetic Joint Secretary of Fogsi, Dr. Ashwini Kale, ma'am. What's more to be said about her? She's always just a phone call away. You give her a call, she picks up. She's always willing to help out at every point of time. And for the chairperson, she's the go-to person in Fogsi this year, so that at any point if we need any clarity, she's always there. Ashwini, ma'am, I know you're also traveling, but thank you so much for joining this podcast.
Thank you so much, Rohan, for the kind introduction. I think Rohan is the youngest of the chairpersons that we have at Fogsi, leading the YTP committee, which is the Young Talent Promotion Committee. And I think he's truly making the fullest use of this committee, wherein because of him, we actually get to meet so many global leaders. And also thanks to him that during AICOG, we could actually see so many stars there out in Mumbai. And all those podcasts were also very wonderful. I think today, even Fogsi would someday convert into a corporate organization with so many strategies going around. And we at Fogsi also have very good partnerships with global leaders like UNICEF, SIF, and all these. So I think probably learning from you today, we would also learn how we could also spread out globally. And we have also been working at Fogsi. The theme for our year this year in the Sunita Madam is Preconception Care, which is all about getting the women ready for motherhood. So I think I'll join in from the audience's link, and it would be a wonderful experience to learn how to actually strategize these things and how you work globally. I mean, here we just manage one organization or one hospital, and listening to you that you head 5 different offices in 5 different countries is truly going to be very exciting. So all the very best, Rohan.
Thank you so much,
Chandni, madam, for joining.
Thanks for the introduction, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ashwini, ma'am. We'll see you from the viewers link. I hope you'll all enjoy the conversation we're about to have. So let me give a formal introduction to Dr. Chandni Palshetkar. Can I say soon?
Yes.
Absolutely. So Chandni completed her master's degree in finance and accounting from Leeds University, UK, and joined the Fortune 500 company Sanofi, which is now known as Opella, as a management trainee to assist in the setup of the clinical research unit. This was roughly 18 years ago. She certainly hasn't had a typical career path. She knows that every step of the way has been a challenge, and this actually gives her the opportunity to grow stronger and continuously improve. She's also championed the development and implementation of process involvement initiatives and change management, and organized various workshops around idea generation, speed networking sessions, and she was the first ever TEDx speaker for Sanofi India. Simultaneously, she's found time to complete an MBA in human resources as well. That's another feather in her cap. She's always charted a path of success with hard work and innovation leadership, and continues to give her best every day. Her commitment to the cause of innovation, change management, and creative leadership has been exemplary. She's an avid adventure traveler, passionate about learning new skills. So thank you so much, Dr. Chandni Palshetkar, for joining us. I may, to everyone out there, it may go from Dr. Chandni to Chandutai to Chandni at times. So don't mind the formal and informal switches. But thank you honestly for taking out time and joining us on this podcast. I'm sure everyone out there, we have 44,000 viewers whom the link goes to and they watch it fervently. So I'm sure they're going to be so keen on getting an insight into what you have to say.
Thanks,
So,
Ron.
so let me just begin with your starting of your career path. Like, who or what actually inspired you to pursue such a path which actually had structure and creativity? I have to say this, that you were the first in our family to actually take that leap to go abroad, start studying abroad. You were the first in the family to do so. What inspired you to take this path?
So this path has been inspired by many people. So I start with the fact that we all knew that my mother was the person who really pushed me to do things each day, because I was not the normal child who had a great intellectual capacity to keep studying. So I think she was the one who pushed me day in, day out to do things differently. She herself, didn't have all the privileges as a growing youngster, but she also wanted it for her kids. So I think the desire that she put in, or the hard work that she put in to ensure that we have a great future, is the inspiration, I would believe, to make things myself to happen. And I can never forget the fact that our grandfather played a great role in shaping us, because I believe that he had the final word here of me going abroad or wanting me or us to do well in life. He was very ahead of his time, and he also ensured us to be there. So I think the two people I can summarize very quickly is my mother, who was working day in, day out to ensure that I had a better life, a better future. And the inspiration obviously came from Dada, who's our grandfather. He did it, and we had to just follow his path. And we have big benchmarks around in the family. So each day becomes difficult, and I think that makes it more and more interesting for us.
Yeah, I completely understand. I still remember that you and I were in our village at Palshet, and we were walking across the river on that bridge, and you were actually talking to me. I think this was when I must have been 13, 14, and you were like, I'm thinking of going abroad. And I remember at that point the fear, or wouldn't say fear, I think the anxiety in anticipating what the answer would be was so much at that time, because it actually mattered what the elders would say. Would they let us go or not go? And that was such a there. So when we do look back, what's the biggest mindset shift you see in your earlier career to now?
Yeah, so let's take earlier was a different path, because we were very young. We're thinking of like the success is going to come tomorrow. I will go abroad, I come back, and okay, I will be leading a Fortune 500 company. I will be the CEO. It just looks like a Hindi movie, but it's not really that. So the mindset change is that every great thing takes time. We have to wait for it to come. We have to wait for it to come in parts and celebrate each small thing that you get, and not really wait that, okay, this is the milestone or this is it. So the mindset changes with time, with maturity. And what we need to embrace is that every day is important. And it's not like, okay, now I have the goal, now it's over. Because every time the bar raises, and you have to keep growing, keep moving on, and it's not going to be like it stops today and the mind is now perfect and it's all done. So it's work in progress each day, I would say.
Absolutely. And I think that's such an important message to all the youngsters out there who are planning to pursue this, that it's good to have ambition, it's good to have dreams, but at some point we have to understand reality as well. And it's not like in the movies, as you said, you go abroad, come back, you become the CEO of a Fortune 500. It is those little steps that you take, and actually those are the building blocks before you actually get to the point where you are. I've actually seen your 18-year career where you used to actually be struggling. Even now, I don't say struggling, but I still see you running around working as hard as you did probably back in the early days. I see you flying out literally every week. At one point, I remember you were pretty much living out of your suitcase because you were doing that. So I think these are things which really make a difference. Yeah, sorry, you were
And most
saying.
importantly, Ron, when I started, I had a stipend. I didn't even have a salary as a management trainee of 5,500 rupees. I still remember the days when these are the things, it's not like money is going to come. And when I took up that assignment, I thought, okay, it's just 5,500. Is it worth, etc., etc. So the
Yeah.
mindset was only money. Let's take in the beginning, okay, big money, big corporate, big life,
Yeah.
which changes because money is definitely important. But
Of
what
course.
matters is to create your legacy. And this, for me, it doesn't happen overnight, and we have to really work towards it and work very hard towards it, as you said.
I absolutely agree with you. Now, okay, getting back to your positioning, like you are the head of strategy. I don't want to say the rest of the stuff, but see, it's not just strategy at business. Like, how do actually individuals, what do you think that how we as individuals can apply the strategic thinking in our own lives, whether we're doctors, designers, entrepreneurs, etc. How should the mindset be in that way?
See, first is very important, like we started as an ambition. So we all have to have a North Star. Okay, let's take by this particular age, I want to be CFO or this particular age. So you need to keep yourself having a North Star there. Because if you don't have that dream, you're never going to achieve it. So the North Star is super important to keep it clear that I want to do it. Okay,
Yeah,
the path may not be something that is going to happen smooth, like there will be obstacles, there will be good moments as well. So we need it's going to be a journey, and this journey has to be enjoyed. It's not something that just because you put a North Star there that is going to reach. You have to make it happen step by step, day by day. Every day is important. Every moment is important to encash. So it's for me, it's to having a North Star is super important in anything you do.
yeah,
Absolutely, to desire, to manifest that, I want this. And to once you start putting it there to the universe that I want it, then it's a daily habit. I don't think it's something that it's a formula or God is going to come and make it happen for you. It's a daily formula that you live by it. You have to take a step by step approach and to reaching there and putting good habits in it, because I don't think without the good habits or the good rules that you put to yourself, you will reach there. So it's important to define the North Star, but also the daily good habits that you make. And when I say good habits, it's not just about yourself, but around your surrounding. You need to have everything in place to move there. It's like moving a mountain. It's not like just saying that and it's going to happen. So to move a mountain, you need a team. You move a mountain, you need family. To move a mountain, you need many, many, hands and legs, emotions
absolutely.
also. It's not like it comes with, it's never right the first time. It's great to say that, but it's never right. And you have to be clear that it will be a
There are
journey.
going to be a lot of learning
Yeah, it's
steps
going
on
to
the
be a
way.
journey. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can't reach the peak of Mount Everest. You still have to be at the base, acclimatize, and then head up.
And you have to practice every day, right?
Exactly.
You can't just climb the Everest if you've not done your training or your both
Tomorrow,
mental and physical.
yeah, tomorrow you can't wake up and say, I'm going to Everest.
Yeah, of
Literally.
course. It's exactly like that. You have to, but North Star is important. You have to manifest. I need this, and need could be different for everyone. So yeah, everybody is not going to be a CEO. I believe people who want to, think of them to be, not everybody is going to desire to be a CEO of the company, but whatever is your dream, whatever is what you want to have, it should be on your North Star, and then you make a path to it. And the path, as I said, will be different for different people. But yes, every day you need to practice to reach that.
I think that's very important that the goal should be manifested and you need to work through small, small steps. I love the analogy that you talked about that you need a village to move that mountain. But when you're looking at complex problems, you're going to be getting so many insights and things into this. So, how do you actually get the team to, or rather, cultivate the team rather to uh, get solutions to these complex issues that you get? Because everyone's going to be as you said, everyone wants to make it bigger, so they're always going to look at the way, but you need the team to have certain expertises in each way. Like when we talk amongst doctors, you will never see a gynecologist doing the anesthetist job, nor the anesthetist doing the gynec's job, but without each other we both can't deliver a baby in that sense. So how do you cultivate that?
So it's a very good question. And let's say that when we as a corporate work together, we also have different teams. So today, of course, I have the privilege to lead a team which has almost all kind of facets. People who are, project managers, to people who are working with me on communications, people who are working with me on building brands, so there are many, many different facets. So obviously these people are subject knowledge experts. So everybody, we have to respect the fact that you have multiple subject knowledge experts, but
Absolutely.
there will be one person, and that's the leader's job, to drive this orchestra together. Because you can't have, and trust me, Ron, when I work, I don't believe that I know everything. When I don't know something, I say I don't know it. I know you can't do it as a doctor because you need to be perfectly qualified to do it. But when you don't know that subject, you leave it to the person who knows it better than you to put the mind behind it. Now, what you need to do is to kind of tie the circles together. Because
Yeah.
when somebody is taking time, for instance, to deliver, the other person is getting frustrated. You need
Yeah.
to be the one who's going to listen. You're going to be the one who's going to kind of make this balance happen between your team. And this is the toughest part of a leader, because obviously somebody somewhere is not going to be happy. So it's obviously something that you have to balance and let the expert do the job. So don't believe that you're knowing something more than someone. But being a leader, you need to inspire every day by saying that exactly the right things, and the right things could be right, or sometimes you could get a feedback that it's not the best solution at this moment, and you need to be also bold to take the feedback. So it's a balance on how you want to channelize your energies in either fighting something or just accept the feedback and to take it gracefully and say, okay, let's work better next time. It's always that way that's going to work in a team.
I
And we are working in teams which is completely diverse. I have teams in Bogota, I have teams in Kuala Lumpur, different time zones. One is in the morning, one is chilling in the evening. So it's to bring, like I said, this mountain together. It takes a lot. At times also important to share that this person's having a bad day today. It's not wrong to say that. Just give him some space or give her some space, because maybe it's not the best day. So just help take things forward, because maybe I have a dental surgery or has something that is not perfect, right? So you need
yeah.
to have the authenticity, the trust, the relationship, even amongst your team members,
True.
hence the success. And this is the job of a leader, to ensure everything is musically working, all tunes are working perfect.
I think that's so beautifully put, because many a times we don't, and I love the last part which you talked about, that someone's not well, having a bad day. It's so important to understand that, because that's something which we also, I would say it's a lot of empathy that you end up showing to them, because if you don't understand that, they're not going to take it in a positive way, nor are they going to be working in such a manner where they'll be like, this person doesn't understand what I'm going through. Because we can have so many family emergencies, etc., which we may not want to discuss, but at the same time, as a leader, I think that empathy is so important in order to build that trusting relationship with your team members. I think
Yeah,
that's
and if you
very
don't have it, you'll never be a successful leader. So I believe my end goal of being successful is that one of my biggest strengths is to ensure building effective relationships at work.
literally stole my next question, is how do you personally define success today?
Uh, yeah, like I said, let's take that I follow through on something which is very nicely put in a book called Strength Finder. So if you do
Yeah.
the test, you typically have 5 top strengths that come out of yours. So in my team and in my circle, we work
Yeah.
only on your strengths. So we don't focus on weaknesses at all. So even for a minute, I will not say that let's improve this part of you. I would
Yeah.
rather say that let's build on your strength. This is how we work. So let's take, after we do a particular test, and anyone can do it, it's online. We know our top 5 strengths. So based on these top 5 strengths, who's going to be better at solving a problem and a B problem. So
Exactly.
let's give my own example. I have top 5 strengths, and my first 5 significance, to be like, I love the importance, it's
Yeah.
significantly
Fair enough.
important in a room. I like to be the most important person in the room. The
Yeah.
second is strategy, which is not not with my title and my work today, it's not something that is rocket science. It is
Yeah.
strategy and futuristic together. So I have a number two and number three set is strategy and futuristic. So which is very good as a combination because
Yeah.
one tells you what the North Star is and the other tells you how to get there. So it's
Get there.
important to have me in a team to deliver
Yeah.
something. Okay, and the fourth for me is self-assurance. So, I'm a person, if I say yes to something, it's done. It's not
Yeah.
like it's going to. So my boss obviously relies on this one as the most important strength because he knows that if he's given me a task, it will be done. Same.
Yeah.
And the last one is a relator. So I'm not a person who can strike a conversation with somebody on a flight, like I'm
Yeah.
quite reserved. But let's take once I make good friends or good trusted relationship in an organization, they last for life. So I'm the one who brings all this together. And for me, success is all my five strengths put together. And for both you to know it as my team and me to know my team's strengths as well. Like I said, I don't believe in working on weaknesses. I rather build on strengths.
Oh, that's actually very beautiful because generally everyone says that work on your weaknesses, but I think this is something is that build on your strengths rather than working on your weakness. I think that's also a very beautiful take-home message. I'm going to just give a very simple thing that I love what you said because whenever you know how much I love my sports. And when I used to play basketball, it wasn't that I was the strongest player, but I would always rely on my IQ to play the game rather than my skill because I knew that that was one strength which would always be better. So I really resonate with that example of building on the strengths rather than working on the weaknesses. Okay, we're coming to the fag end of our discussion, but there is still going to be a bit of it left. If you see today's era, if you look back in the early 2000s or 2010, and now when you compare it to 2025, you've got artificial intelligence, you've got from Skype, you've gone to Zoom, you can do pretty much everything online. It doesn't seem like you need to travel. So, do you see any further changes or things shaping the next decade of work?
For sure. So the future is agentic. So everything will be done by agents, and we will
Oh,
just be watching on how it's done. So obviously, you need brains to build the agents. It's like you needed IT people to build softwares, and now the future is agentic. So how we are building our teams also is now to see how, which are the processes where you see that, it's too manual and you need agents to do it. And we
yeah,
all know that nobody in the future will want to do manual tasks or will want to do things that are so administrative. We all are out of it, right? So when we are
yeah,
all out of it, we are all going to study more. The next generation is going to be more into just the clear professions are changing. Today we have people doing so many different things is because you have manual tasks or tasks that really don't require human any longer replaced by agents. And
yeah,
agentic AI is the future. Gen AI is the future. With all this in kind of in place, it's already like advancing. Of course, it's also a buzzword because not everything is turning into 100% success. There is also a buzzword around it, but the buzzword will become reality, like smartphones. And it was not something that we had 20 years back when I started. Now it's life, and we all rely on it for everything. So it will change, and it's going to change very, very drastically. And I would say that next 20 years will be beautiful to see how Gen AI, agentic AI will replace many, many tasks for us. I hope we can see this in a very positive way than a negative way, the way, tech will change our life. I believe it's going to be a moment that you will find people being much, much more creative than they were today because it's they will not find people doing manual administrative tasks any longer.
fair enough. So just as a thing that if you had to describe the future of global collaborations in one sentence, what do you think it would be?
It's decentralized teams, Ron. Let's take that in our world today. We are completely working remotely. decentralized, one working in one country, second working in the other country, decentralized teams with one purpose. And this is what I can say. You can be placed anywhere as long as you know your purpose or where you want to reach. That's how collaboration I can see. And of course, as I said, the tech is always going to support us. We're all working on Copilot and agentic AI and chat GPTs to get things done. But the fact that you can be completely decentralized and not any longer be based in a room to solve a problem, it can be solved from any part of the world, is the beautiful way of collaboration that we saw and we will keep seeing moving forward.
True. I think that's so beautifully put. And I think those are steps which we do need to learn. I think especially because a lot of our doctors who are probably online right now are considering entrepreneurship. So for them also, these messages are going to be so important. And forget about just the entrepreneurs. Even when we're looking at managing our own hospitals and things like that, these are pointers which we need to understand in order to, I don't know how to say, make it more efficient. I think make it more efficient more than anything else. Chandudai, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you, but I'm not letting you go just yet. A small rapid fire because that's what I do in every one of my podcasts. So quick answers, crisp answers, and I'm looking forward to it. One word that defines your leadership style.
Creativity.
A quote or mantra you live by.
As I said right in the beginning, great things take time. It's not going to be today. It's going to take time.
What do you value more, logic or intuition?
Logic. I'm a finance person who sees numbers each day.
Fair enough. Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
I think a bit of both.
But means for work, I like to be morning person, but by social, I would like to be a night owl. So
Perfect. A city that's changed you.
Leeds, because when I went to study for the first time, I did everything, including working in a McDonald's just to have a gin and tonic, to party. So
That's fantastic. A movie or book that's left a mark on you?
I would say the book Emotional Intelligence, because it really taught me how to survive. See, IQ is something that we all have, but EQ is something that we learn, and I believe that this learning has been most important for me.
If you had to give your 20-year-old one piece of advice, what would it be yourself?
Listen more, be patient.
And the first word that comes to your mind when you hear the word Gyan Pravah?
I think it's awesome. Such things are important, the collaboration between doctors and people in the corporate life, because it works really, really nice.
Thank you so much, Chandudai. I think you've given us such wonderful answers. Definitely, if we were in person or when we meet next, we'll give you the hamper as well for the fantastic rapid fire that you've given. Honestly, it's a fantastic. You've given us so much things into leadership, into team building, about emotional intelligence, about empathy, and what all we need to do as doctors to understand how to lead our teams, because not all of us work individually and not all of us work as leaders. Some of us may be part of teams as well. Plus, Fogsi itself is such a huge organization which is sort of decentralized as what you talked about. So in that manner, I think we've really appreciated your insights into this. Honestly, Chandudai, I know I could have called you any moment, but I'm so glad you've been available because of your busy schedule. Thank you for taking time out. I have to say a big thank you to Dr. Sunita Tandulwadkar for spearheading this Gyan Pravah series. And we're literally in episode 271. I want to thank the Evangel team as well for helping us with the wonderful podcast. And obviously to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Let's continue to explore, innovate, and advocate for a beautiful future. Thank you, everyone, and good night, everybody. Thank you.